Chapter 7 talks about the development of moral values in adolescence. And more specifically, I like to focus on page 184, in which the author talks about the correlation between moral reasoning and pro-social behavior. Pro-social behavior being defined in the chapter as actions that help benefit and help and bolster others. Um, Coming from a very strong and religiously stringent family, if you will, strong moral values and strong moral behaviors was something that was literally ingrained in me, from a child, and it really just kind of led to, and I didn't really start thinking about this until, I started reading this chapter. And thinking of how those values that were instilled in me led to some of the behaviors and tendencies that I even exhibit to this day. More specifically, in the chapter, Faves and Carlo talks about 10, I guess, influences that adolescents' tendencies to perform pro-social and moral behaviors. I want to focus on two of those in particular that really struck a chord with me. The first one being number 3, when he talks about moral reasoning. Just in the sense of growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in, going to, it was nothing to go to the local corner store and, steal a couple of bags of 25-cent potato chips and things like that. I mean, my friends were doing it, but even something that small, I just couldn't morally, I couldn't participate in because even though it was, like I said, something that small, there's just something that morally I just couldn't, um, you know, just couldn't do. So that being said, I mean, that strong moral upbringing really led to that type of behavior in me. Another component is number 4, empathy, when the author talks about having empathy towards others. And this is something that I even exhibit to this day. For example, if I see a homeless person on the streets who's begging for food or money or whatever the case is, if I'm not able to help that person at that given time, if I don't have any loose change or any cash or anything on me, I would even find myself going to maybe like the McDonald's or something, or just some type of eatery, nearby, and maybe getting a cheeseburger or some French fries or something, and bringing it back to that person. And it was just a strong empathy within me because if I did it or if I wasn't able to help that person, that's something literally that I would think about for days and days to come. Like, I wonder if that person is still hungry. I wonder if that person is still, in that same place in the street begging, and things like that. So, just having that strong empathy for someone is something that was just ingrained in me just from a religious and a moral stance from childhood, and it's something that I even exhibit to this day.